Mr. Batman.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, what's today? What makes today special?
I don't know, man.
Should I inform everybody?
It ain't special to me.
It's special to me,
Oh,
and I'm sure
shit.
all your loved ones. And you better get up on that mic. You know, I was about to yell at you. Better get up on that mic.
Shit, I gotta turn this mic.
Yeah, you're gonna hit that like that. You're gonna hit the sideways stance today.
Yeah.
A very happy birthday to the big bro Jamal.
Thank you.
You know I had to blow your spot up. You know I had to. And then you're gonna get a bunch of DMs from everybody.
I love to keep that shit on the low, but nah, it's all good, man. I appreciate it.
Come on, you already know.
Thank you. You know.
That's how. Listen, you gotta embrace the another year around the sun.
It's hard for me. I have a little bit of a tough time on my birthday.
Why so?
I've never been one to celebrate my birthday like that. I've kind of just kept it under wraps and quiet, and it sounds horrible, but I just kind of like to more so be with myself on my birthday, and I don't really like the attention. It's weird, you know. For all these years, I never really like thought into it or looked into it, and it wasn't until I was sitting down and I really just was talking about life, and I realized, oh shit, I just figured it out. You know, growing up, my birthday's like right close to Christmas, and my family wasn't wealthy by any means, so it's like, you know, we got to choose which one we're going to kind of either celebrate
Embrace.
or really like, you know, give any attention to, and knowing that, you know, things were tight, money was tight. If they would do something for my birthday, I know it would kind of be setting them back. So I kind of just downplayed it as much as possible. Like, I just didn't want to do anything. Like, just let's not do anything. Let's just chill. You know, I'll just, you know, kind of try to stay under the radar.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the reasons I just knew that it was a stress for my parents and my family. So I just kind of wanted to relieve everybody's stress by just being like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And I think I just brainwashed myself into that. And it wasn't until, dude, I got to say, what's today, Monday? It wasn't until Saturday that just passed that I was just talking about it, and that came out. And I was just like, damn, that's probably why I feel this way. But it is what it is. So
I can understand that. Birthdays for me, I kind of downplay them too. You know, the only reason we did anything for this past one was because it was the 30th. But besides that, I don't know. I feel like since I turned 2021, I feel like it's been different, especially like real different. Like,
of course, it's responsibility now.
You know, but I always had the responsibility.
Yeah.
But I just feel different about it. I don't know. I don't like when people go, "What are we doing for your birthday?" And I just kind of sit there and go, "I don't know. I don't really care. It's just another day to me."
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that.
Yeah, I kind of try to keep it around, and then, you know, I got fab, and I'm always being like, well, you know, you turned 55 today. You know,
this old geezer. Is that what he said?
Yeah, you turned 76 today. I'm like, this dude. Like, here we go. Walks in with an Aflac card.
Yo, he's great.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen, no shortage of good laughs on the birthday then.
No.
So are you doing anything for it? Or you just another day, just chilling? Anything with the fans?
I guess I would say I celebrated it Thursday and Friday. I had dinner and stuff like that, and it was great. It's actually turned out to be a wonderful birthday pre-weekend.
Good.
Put it that way.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, as long as you celebrated, as long as you got out.
Yeah.
You know, now that you're home and you're back from Florida, if you want to go out with the kid, I'm always down too.
Guaranteed. Well, we can maybe put that together.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Today I'll probably go and see the kids and cut cake with them because that's what they want to do.
Okay.
They're gonna you know, they're more so happy about it, more happy than
it almost becomes an event for them to celebrate dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah. And they know daddy kind of plays it low key, so they want to go crazy. I know they do.
That's amazing, man.
We'll see.
I love it. Listen,
we'll see.
Little birthday dabs. Love
Happy
you,
birthday,
bro.
my boy. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So kind of like a little episode we wanted to talk about. I think more so on the side of, I guess, the stigma that you hear from men nowadays, and you kind of look around, and I think people get it twisted in terms of masculine men and what men portray in today's society and how they're supposed to act versus
Mhm.
how they do act.
Yeah.
It's like a very sensitive, weird topic because obviously not every man, woman, and child, nobody is the same. So
Mhm.
you can't expect every single man to act
A
as
certain way. Yeah.
let's say, a framework of what a man should be.
Mhm.
But you hope that their father that raised them or their family that raised them, if they don't have a father figure in the family, instilled strong beliefs into these young men
Yes.
and made them strong men. But we're finding that that's not the case.
Well,
And I'm finding that the men of the past aren't anywhere to be found. Far and few between.
well, it's funny because you could look at it like this, right? Today's fashion, and you can't go by this. I'm not a fan of it,
No.
but I'm trying to be like neutral here.
Yeah, you're trying to stay even
So
keeled.
yeah, I'm trying to stay in the middle with this one. But today's fashion, to me, is not a fashion that I would consider to be very masculine.
No.
But I'm not saying that you're not men if that's the way you dress. You're not masculine if that's the way you
To
dress. It's
each
fine.
their
But
own.
like when I'm in the gym and the guys have on less clothes than the girls now, it's a little weird. Like your tights are tighter and shorter than the girls' tights, and you're wearing extra large shirts over it, so it looks like you're wearing a nightgown. It's very. I just don't get it.
Our bo-
Not saying that. I mean, I know it's the fashion, but the fact that you feel comfortable with that is just a little. It's a little odd. The fact that you can look in the mirror and think, "Oh, yeah, I look like a man today," and walk out the door is it's a little odd to me. Listen. You do what you want.
You do what you want, you wear what you want.
I can't. Yeah, I can't change that. But in all honesty, that's just as far as fashion is concerned. But in all honesty, when it comes down to being a man, I feel like it all has to do with morals, right? So being able to be a man of your word, keep your word, be honest, you know, that's the basis of being a man. Society may make it out to be that you have to be like financially dominant to be masculine, be a man, you know. I don't agree with that. I don't think so. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm going off my own knowledge here and life and stuff like that. So I went to college and I was pre-med in school. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. I couldn't stand being in the hospital. Um, I chose the route that I took as far as being a trainer. I can still help people. It's still in the field of science. And that's the route I took. Do I make as much money as a surgeon? No, definitely not. I try to conduct myself as a very morally sound and mentally strong and honest man. Does it make me less of a man because someone makes more money than I do?
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? So the route I chose financially, right, like professionally, led me to making a certain amount of money. I could have taken another route and I could have been completely unhappy and been a horrible person, a horrible father, whatever it may be, just being unhappy. But my pockets would have been fat as hell. Does that make me a good man? So now here I am. I'm raising children and I'm miserable because of the job I have. I am, I'm short. I'm always arguing. I'm always upset. I'm not really getting a chance to enjoy what's going on at home because I am bringing work home with me, right? And it's something that I just don't enjoy. But I got a Lamborghini in the garage. I got nice stuff. My wallet's fat, bank account's fat, but I'm miserable. But now your kids see you miserable and the way you act, the way you talk, your whole demeanor, everything. Kids, they get a vibe, like they feel that.
They pick up on the energy
They
very
they
quickly.
live off of that. You know what I'm saying? So when your son or your daughter just either gets anxiety when a male figure starts to get a little upset because they're uncomfortable at home when it happens, right? You're not setting the right stage for your kids. It's a trickle down effect, right? So you're making money, but you're not happy, right? So you're blown off at the hinge. You're you're easily upset. You're easily angered, and your kids feel off that. So now you have a little girl who may end up getting older and dating someone that the moment there's a little bit of a hiccup, she becomes very timid because she feels like the guy's going to blow off at the hinge and act like my dad, because that's what she sees, right? Doesn't lead to anything positive at all. But getting back pretty much to the subject, I think there's a misconception about what makes someone a real man, and I think it is based off of, you got to, look masculine and not show feelings. Let me not show a soft, easy, loving side of me. And I got to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? I got to have like nice things, and it's doesn't mean anything like that.
Beautiful
you know what I mean?
woman up on the arm.
Yeah, having like you said, walking in, pulling up in a nice car, getting out with a beautiful girl on your arm, and having a pocket full of money. That's all physical stuff, man. That has nothing to do with you, the essence of you, like what's going on inside of you. You could be a piece of shit. Everything that you do to make your money, you've robbed and stolen from people, right? Your girl's a fucking stripper or a prostitute. You paid for her to come out with you. It's all looks, right? So what?
The Instagram effect.
So like what are we doing here? This is what you would consider a real man? This is the person you want to follow? This is the person I'm going to try to mimic my life after?
That's very similar to, and it's not to talk shit, but it's a prime example. I've said it before on the episodes with Tyler on Brajol Brothers. It's the Dan Bilzerian effect.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Bilzerian, fucking loaded. Every photo you see of him, he's got beautiful women around him, expensive toys. He's in a mansion. He's in some rare part of the world, literally just flexing his wealth and his status.
And you want to know what's funny?
And I want to hear that, but like my takeaway on that is, what happens if he lost everything? What happens if he lost all that money? What happens if he was living in a 1-bedroom apartment off the Vegas Strip, not on it, off it, somewhere around there, in some shitty little 1-bedroom apartment? Would all of those women still be around him?
No.
And would all those followers still look at him as the same person and go, no, well, I like Dan for who he is as a human being. No. You like the status that he's trying to exude and show on that side of things. And it's not to say that he's not a good human being. I don't know. I don't fucking know him. He could be a great guy. But when you are constantly flexing in that manner, acting like a man's man, men's men don't exist anymore. They're far and few between of older years.
Yeah. Everything is completely different.
But you're saying what you're saying. You
well,
know what's funny?
I have a close friend of mine who's friends with Dan, and she tells me that he's miserable.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Right. So I mean, now that I say that, and you sit back and think about all these videos and pictures and stuff you see, it's all a facade. It's all to cover up something else.
I would be miserable. Could you imagine if women only hung out with you just because of your money, not because of who you are as a human being? They just wanted to be with you because you could bring them to the Swiss Alps on a Tuesday.
And everything you're saying right now, you would feel fucked up.
Oh yeah.
To know that. Some people don't care.
Yeah.
They'll just pay for everything. Right? And it'll give them a false sense of being manly or manhood.
And then they'll wonder why their depression continues to sink deeper and deeper as well.
You go. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, like shit. Well, if I'm not paying for dinner, we don't seem to make any moves. And I'm sitting here and I'm not saying like, listen, I treat my women right.
Of course,
I pay for my women, this and that. But I'll tell you what, is it nice to see them reach for the checkbook every now and then, just to like show, hey, I want to take care of you too, and you just go, no, you're good. Next time you get the drinks.
Listen, I went out on a date once where the girl literally told me she knew a friend. She was the sister of a friend of mine, and she's like, damn, my brother tells me you have this amount of clients, you do this amount of this, blah, 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 blah. You charge this amount. You make a lot of money. You know what? We should just get married. I could be your trophy wife. So I said, we sat down here and had this conversation, and you know how hard I work and how much I'm trying to do with my life. You just finished school. You got your master's. You really could sit across the table and look me in my face and tell me that you just don't feel like doing anything? I'd rather just marry you and be your trophy wife? Really? Sweetheart, listen, dinner's on me. You lost me at hello. I'm out. Like, you're not going to sit there and tell me, damn, you work so hard in meeting you now. And you already did the math in your head about how many sessions I'm doing, how much I charge, how much money I make. Like, really? Come on, man. Like, cut that shit out. For real.
That takes a special kind of stupid.
Oh God.
You spent all that time in school, all
So
that hard work.
You're not
now
gonna
you're
walk
just
out on me. I'm beautiful.
Oh,
Men would kill to be with me. Oh, really? I won't. Hey.
I had an ex that said that.
I'm out.
I had an ex that said to all my friends, Nick won't ever break up with me. I'm too good looking. I'm too hot. This and
Wow.
that. I was like this. And all my friends in every single person, one by one, you must not know Nick.
Exactly.
You must really not know your boyfriend. Because if you did, you'd know that he has zero problems cutting anybody out like a tumor. That's a positive side of me and it's a negative side of me. However, if you're gonna act like that and you think that, and she was another one. She was a girl that had a really good job, had an incident at the place that she worked medically. She had a procedure done where they had to monitor her heart. She had like a vasovagal attack.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, cool.
Yeah.
Like by all means, if you don't feel well, don't go back to work. But then she dragged it out for almost a year. The hospital that she worked at didn't want to bring her back. When I later found, and she was bartending on the weekends for 2 days, and that was it. The rest of the time, she was taking fucking selfies and Instagram pictures all week. She'd work 2 days at the bar, make money because she was an attractive girl. By all means, I'm not putting you down for working and making pretty much what I was making at the time in a week's work. You were making in a night.
Yeah.
Totally fine. But like, you don't have any aspirations to become better than just being a bar hag for 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your late 20s, how you're just going to drag this out all the way through your 30s, 40s, and 50s. You're going to be that girl that's working at the bar when you're 50 years old. And all the dudes know that have fucked you in the bar. They all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
they all know this girl.
Yeah,
everybody listening knows that woman, that the older woman that's still working at the bars. And there's nothing wrong with being that woman. But I found out that from later on, from actually her family members.
Wow.
Yeah. People like to talk, man. That she had gotten approved to go back a month or two after the incident. But she was the one that kept dragging out saying she didn't want to go back. So you just wanted to work 2 days a week. It's okay. But like, admit that you want to do that because I would have dropped her quicker.
It's very hard to be around when you're a driven person, man, especially. It's very hard to be around other people that are not driven. It's kind of it's difficult actually, you know, because you'll give advice because they'll ask, you know, but some people that just don't have it, they won't take the advice. You know, they'll ask the same question over and over again. They won't take the advice. They just are going to continue to hope that somebody would just do it for them. And so it's difficult to be around somebody that has no drive.
And they don't understand the grind. They don't understand why you have to work so much, why you have to just keep pushing forward, and why it's important that you do, because you don't want to stay the same. You want to continually progress, get better. And that's not only on the financial side, that's in a physical, mental side as well.
Exactly.
Because what am I going to do? You know, if I don't keep getting clients, bigger accounts, and getting more guests on the podcast and pushing clips out and doing this, then everything's going to stay the same. And I don't want it to stay the same.
It's never going to grow.
I don't want to stay the same. I want a Lamborghini. I want a big-ass house. I want a fucking yard that the dog can run in. Like, I want those things.
Yes.
And wanting those things versus praying and wishing that they occur versus actually doing it.
Going out,
making sure that you're laying the groundwork so that you have it in 5, 10, 15 years. Yeah. I'm looking at it as a long game. I don't want short game. I don't want short gain capital. I don't want that shit. I want
it doesn't last.
Exactly. I want that shit to grow and flourish. So if I'm with somebody that doesn't get that, I can't help you.
It's not going to work.
I can't help you. And we're not compatible.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You know, but yeah, I think it all stems. Like, society looks at, like I said, they look at the men to be unemotional, strong-minded, but showing, once again, no emotion, and financially, like, listen, there's different levels of financial stability, right? Because you could make, you know, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year and live underneath your means and be financially stable. Invest your money, you know, not spend money frivolously, and you could have a nice little nest egg that you could, or investment portfolio that will make you better off than somebody who's making $500,000 a year but lives above their means and has nothing really to show for it, aside from just some physical, you know, superficial things that they going to end up having to sell at some point to have some kind of liquid
to make the rent.
Exactly.
I have a lot of friends like that. I have a lot of friends that purchase items way above their means. Like, they want to get, you know, a specific car, or they want to get a specific watch, and just in general.
Like take, for instance, athletes, right? So I've trained many athletes, and this is what some people don't understand. Just drawing a reference. Let's say you sign a contract for $100 million. That really only means you're getting 57. Okay? But that's 57 million over 10 years. So that's $5 million a year, right? I'm just saying that tax is already taken out, right? So $5 million a year. So most athletes look at it like, all right, I'm making $100 million. I'm going to go and buy a $20 million home. And the $20 million home is going to have a maintenance cost of probably $100,000 a month. Okay? You don't remember. You're going to buy cars. You're going to buy a car that you can drive on the weekend. You're going to buy an everyday car. You're going to buy a ton of jewelry. You're going to go on vacations. Every time you go out with all your friends, you're going to front the bill. You're going to party. Now, before you know it, with your mortgage, your monthly maintenance costs, and all these other bills that you've accrued, right? Or, better yet, you bought all of them outright. Okay, cool. So you actually own it, but everything that you've bought is pretty much a depreciating asset. Well, let's call it a liability, not an asset.
Yeah.
And now, so...
Call it like it is, right?
So now, your $5 million a year actually means nothing. Right?
Yeah.
So when the 10 years is up, and your career is like not flourishing anymore.
Yeah, you're not getting those contracts anymore.
Now you have nothing. And people will always ask, how the fuck does this dude sign a contract for $100 million and have absolutely nothing? Right? It can literally fly right out of your hand just the same way. Listen, when I first ever made money playing sports, the first thing I ever wanted, because I saw Allen Iverson with it, was 2-carat diamond earrings. I wanted it so bad, and I didn't make that kind of money playing ball.
How much 2-carat diamond earrings cost?
Well, let me tell you. So basically, it's about almost 10 grand, depending on the clarity of the diamonds and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I actually said to the guy? I was 18 years old. I said, give me the most fucked up, darkest, dirtiest diamond you got for as cheap as you can, just so I can wear 2-carat diamond earrings. For what? I just wasted that money. And you know what I did? An ex of mine stole it.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh.
I was like, yo, I got to come back over there and pick up the earrings. I left them on your dresser. There ain't no earrings here. Motherfucker.
Great.
You know what I mean? Like, for what? For what? Just because I'm looking at what I thought success would be as a child. You know, you grow up in the hood, you think, oh shit, like, this guy's an athlete. He made it. This is what he's doing. If I ever come across money, that's what I got to do. Doesn't mean that at all, you know? At all. So before you know it, you're dead broke and you're sitting there like, how the fuck did this happen?
Well, dudes, how many dudes bought grills after they heard Nelly singing about him? Right? How many dudes needed grills? Dude. I was a little white kid in the suburbs and I kind of wanted some grills. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, man.
I used to take the foil of the gum and put it over my teeth and act like I had them shits.
All right, you going to scream because there's a picture of me like that on Facebook.
I love it.
I'm going to show you right quick.
I love it.
And then we'll get back on with our topic today. Oh, you're not ready for this, man. I look at some of these pictures on Facebook back in the day, and I just go, what the fuck? Why are these still up? And it's weird. I can't delete them. I can't bring myself to delete them because I'm just like, I don't know. This was just you being a dummy.
That's fucking hysterical. What is that you have in your mouth?
Those braces on the bottom, and that's tinfoil
on the bottom. Tinfoil on the top. Yep.
Yeah. I got me with a rag on, too.
Yeah,
my buddy funny. Jay gave me one.
What?
What's going on here, man? I was in band class. Do you see the tubas on the wall?
It don't get any more thuggish.
You see the fucking tubas on the wall?
It don't get any more thuggish, bro.
Wow.
You was a killer in that picture. I couldn't tell you anything.
In the middle of Plainview with my Mark Echo hoodie on. Yeah, I felt some kind of way.
That's hysterical.
Listen, it's a status thing, man. But that's for all items. It's not even for high-end priced items. It's just why does a young dude go out and buy a McLaren? Let's say an 18-year-old kid makes millions. Mm-hmm. Instead of investing that money and going and trying to build upon it, Why does he go out and buy a McLaren? And I'm not saying that you can't and you shouldn't spend your money the way you want to spend it.
Agreed.
You work for
But
that money.
the reason you want it.
Yeah, well, the
is
reason, because
question.
you could get a $50,000 car, an $80,000 car, instead of a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 car that does the exact same thing as the McLaren speed-wise, but you feel like that status. It's that look that's going to make you look like a man pulling up to a fucking restaurant. Oh, shit, look at this fucking dude. This dude's big time. That's why these dudes rent these fucking cars and they put them on social media.
Yeah.
They want to feel big time. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to come to realization.
You got to have some substance behind it, though.
You got to be like real with
You know what I
yourself
mean?
at some point and just be like, there's one thing to dream and then make it for yourself versus faking it and just hoping that you're going to make it at some point.
Exactly.
But on the topic of what I wanted to talk to you about, there's a term that I hear all the time, and it's called toxic masculinity. And I find that it comes up in conversation more than it should. Now, there is a side of everybody that's toxic. There's good things, there's bad things with people in general, females, males. I think women definitely have or play into stereotypes that make them, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? That make them look a certain way or act a certain way that they feel they have to. And the toxic masculinity is the same thing in certain retrospect that they're pushing it on. I think they're using it as a blanket statement to just suppress men.
Listen,
because I have the.
I always think there's like a battle between male and female, men and women, as far as like how they love each other, describe each other. Women are always like, yo, men ain't shit. Guys are always like, women are bitches and hoes and shit like that. Okay, all right, I get it. You guys are going back and forth. You were tainted somehow. I get it. But I think sometimes both sides of the story will use phrases to describe men that they obviously don't like. Now, yes, there are toxic men and toxic women out there that feed off of whatever their powers are. I'm saying it like that because obviously you have to be able to, if you're a toxic male, you have to like literally be able to get into a woman's head mentally and be able to like manipulate them. Okay. And I hate to say it, but it's not difficult. It's not difficult for a woman to do the same thing to a man. It's not difficult for a man to do it to a woman because the truth of the matter is males and females, men know and women know exactly what it takes to make the opposite sex fall in love with them. And once there's feelings involved, it's very easy to manipulate someone, mentally especially, right? And it happens on both sides of the ball, not just with men being that way, but it's both women being that way as well. Like I was speaking to a girl the other day, and she said she felt a certain way because she ended up meeting a guy that she was talking to for a couple of weeks, and she slept with him. And she's like, damn, normally I don't do that. I would normally hold out, but I felt like we had a connection. And I said, sweetie, stop right there. You women, that's a word you guys have learned to use. Forgive me, but to be whorish. It's easy to describe a situation like what you just told me. And for me to not judge, you would say, but we had such a great connection. What's his last name? What does he do for a living? What is he doing right now? You don't know the answers to any of this. There is no connection. You know nothing about this man. Nothing.
Might as well be a friend.
If this connection is just physical, then you got what you wanted, right? But accept it for what it is. Call it what it is. Don't say that he manipulated you or, he did what he had to do just to get what he wanted. No, don't do that.
Because you wanted it too.
Don't do that. You wanted it too. If you meet someone and you're attracted to them and it's only a sexual attraction, you don't need anything. That's the connection. It's a sexual connection. When you cross that line, if you now want more and he doesn't make him an asshole. It doesn't make him a piece of shit. That was where the connection lies. Now that there's feelings involved, different feelings, and he may not feel that way or she may not feel that way, doesn't make him an asshole and you a bitch. All it is a difference of desire. It's whatever. It's a difference of what you want. Why is that? Why is it like right now, if any man meet a woman, and women could, they won't even deny it. It's the truth. If any man meets a woman, right, and he says, hey, listen, and there's attraction there, obviously, because now they're having a conversation. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just looking for a good time. I'm just looking to hang out, have somebody to talk to, chill with, have sex. Just a physical thing for me. I don't have time for a relationship. The girl will say if she's interested, if she's even remotely interested, she'll say, that's cool. I'm not looking for anything serious either. But in the back of her head, she's thinking, I can change him.
Yeah, project.
Well, hold on. Maybe she's not saying that. Let's take a different route. Yeah, I only want the sex too. Great. They have sex. She's catching a little bit of feelings. She makes the girl laugh from time to time. Now all of a sudden she's seeing visions of her being in a relationship with this man. And the next time he's like, listen, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to keep it moving. Like, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden he's a dickhead.
Yep.
He's a piece of shit because you caught a little bit of feelings, right? And although he was 100% honest, he is telling you what you do not want to hear. So now you're upset. And it can go both ways. It can go both ways. When a guy gets with a girl and he showers the girl with gifts and taking her out and whining and dining and living way beyond his means just to try to bag the girl. And the girl has shown a liking for nice things and, going out nice places and stuff like that. That's what you showed her. That's what she fell in love with. So if you can't keep up with it and she wants to leave you, she ain't a bitch and she ain't a gold digger. It's what you showed her. You made her like that. She may have had interest in it. And when you knew that and you found that out, right? Because if you're doing something out of love, right? I know my girl likes this. I'm doing it because my girl likes it, right? I'm not doing it trying to win something. I'm doing it because my girl likes it. I know she enjoys this. This may not even be something I like.
But you want to keep her happy.
But exactly. But if you're doing it with a joyful heart, it'll never stop. You'll continue to do it. But now if you're doing it just because you're trying to get a specific thing, and now that you got it and you want to live normal and you got to pull back, all of a sudden she's going to lose interest because, you don't treat me like you used to. Right? And meanwhile, you're like, damn, all she wants is my money. No, that's all you showed her.
Yeah, you showed her the top echelon.
You didn't show her. You didn't show her the essence of you. You didn't show her personality. You didn't make her laugh. None of that.
No.
You showed her that you know how to spend money on her. And this is where the feelings are going to lie. So when you stop doing that and she's like, I don't feel the love. You think she's a piece of shit, but it's the way you showed her. So I've always said this in the past, and like women think I'm nuts. But they're like, Jamal, what do you look for in a girl? I'm like, nope, I'm not telling you.
I'm not telling you.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, why am I going to sit there and tell you what I'm looking for? If you're asking me the question, so you're obviously like interested. So if I tell you now I like A, B, and C, even though A, B, and C is not even on your radar, you will do A, B, and C to get me to like you because you're interested in me. But once you're comfortable now, it's like, I got Jamal to come in here now. And I reeled him in, and now there's feelings. And he's feeling me, and we're talking about love and relationship. Now I can relax, and I'm going to pull back.
Guard drops.
He's never going to see A, B, and C again. Now you done stole 6 months out of my life, you fucking bitch. And what am I going to do now? Now I got to talk to myself in the mirror on how I'm going to break up with this girl without breaking her heart, without hurting feelings. But I'm now unhappy. All because you weren't you. You portrayed something else, right? So that's the thing. So when people talk about like toxicity and all that stuff, yes, if you have feelings for somebody, anybody can be toxic to you. They'll know what to do to manipulate you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just masculine. It comes from both sides of the spectrum. It's male, it's female. Like it can happen either way. So the term is real. I do believe that.
Well, I got the
but
definition.
only under certain circumstances.
A
guy can't be toxic to you if you don't have feelings for him. You know what I mean? You can't offend me if I don't care about you. Like when you showed me that post with the guy wrote about what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know you. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
If it was if it was a friend of mine like you, if I heard that you were upset with me with something, I'd be, oh shit, Nick, what's good,
up?
Fam? Like, you my boy. Like, you know me. You know the real me. So for you to have an issue with me, it's real. For somebody else to have an issue with me that doesn't even know me, come on now. I got 2 things for you. A piece of gum and these balls. I'm chewing my piece of gum, man. You can suck on these balls, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, get out of here. So, you understand? And it's the same way. You can only be toxic. Someone can only be toxic to you if there's feelings involved. If there's no feelings, nothing they say or do can bother you. So what does it say? What's the definition?
I agree. So toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's ideas of manliness perpetuates domination, homophobia, and aggression. This idea that men need to act tough and avoid showing all emotions can be harmful to their mental health and have serious consequences for society, which is how it became known as toxic masculinity. There are many definitions of toxic masculinity that appear in research as well as pop culture. Some researchers have come to agree that toxic masculinity has three core components. Toughness. This is the notion that men should be physically strong, emotionally callous, and behaviorally aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-femininity. Jesus Christ, I butchered that word. This involves the idea that men should reject anything that is considered to be feminine, such as showing emotion or accepting help. Power. This is the assumption that men must work toward obtaining power and status, social and financial, so that they can gain the respect of others.
Now, that's a completely different thing than what I was more toxic masculinity in a relationship.
Correct.
Yes, that. Because you know what? It's giving men a false idea of what being a man is all about. And it's toxic to them, not people around them. It's toxic to them. Because you know what? Everybody that's fucking crazy successful, they could sit there and tell you all they want. I built this myself. No. There were people along the way that helped you. And if you say no, you're a disrespectful motherfucker because you got a mother and father. And if you didn't, you have a mother or a father. Someone was there to fucking help you. You didn't get a job when you were born and start working when you were minus 1 year old. Okay? You didn't do that shit. So you didn't do the shit yourself. Okay? There was always somebody there to help you. All right? So you didn't do anything yourself. You didn't build that all yourself. So here you are. Your success. You can't say you did it yourself. Your success is based off of what? Not needing anyone? No, you got help along the way. That doesn't fit that description at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. A lot of people feel like they can't, you know, like I got a couple of homeboys that, you mention anything about homosexuality or guys being gay, they lose their shit. Now, granted, in the Caribbean, it's like, back in the day, I don't even know how it is now, but it was frowned upon seriously. Like, I mean, to the point where if someone was a homosexual and they actually like put their hands on you, you could stone them to death and you wouldn't even go to jail.
Damn.
It can get really bad in the Caribbean. So it's one of those things where it's like, why are you so worried about what the next man is doing with their own time?
Yeah. And
I don't care what you do with your time. Like, why does that worry you so much? It's not a knock on your manhood because you're not involved in it. It's not like somebody caught you in a picture with a homosexual sitting on your lap and started asking you questions. Then I could see you getting a little upset. Why would y'all even ask me that question? That's bullshit. Well, the picture is a dude sitting on your lap. Can you explain that? Now I understand you're getting upset. But what they're doing on their own has nothing to do with you at all. Why are you bothered by that?
Yeah, it's I guess you could say generational gaps, because I feel as time has gone on, so like my age bracket, it was not more I don't want to say more acceptable, but I feel like people just didn't care as much. We don't, like, my age group doesn't really seem to care. If someone was gay, like, doesn't matter. And I've never cared. It doesn't matter to me. Exactly what you're saying is so true, and it was instilled in me at young age. I have tons of gay friends. What you do in your personal life, whether you're straight, whether you're gay, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I think that you should do whatever makes you happy. Same thing we brought that up with trans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you want to transition, that is okay. You do what you feel you need to do that makes you happy.
But now you got to remember, I agree. And when you're doing what makes you happy, you got to also know some of the things that might come along with it. And as long as you're cool with that and you can deal with that, by all means, do it. You know what I mean? Like right now, like if I'm making out with my girl up against the wall in a public place, I got her leg hiked up, I'm all down her throat. Guys will walk by and be like, yo, man, get a room, bro. But if it's two homosexuals doing the same thing, you can't even say that because now it's hate.
Well, yeah, and you get canceled, and
And
they'll come after
now all of a sudden
you,
it's
your
crazy. But hold on,
job.
wait. The same thing is said to me and a woman that's said to you and your partner. Why is it so bad saying it to you, but it's fine saying it to me?
It's
Just realize what comes along with what you're doing. I'm not telling you not to do it. Enjoy yourselves. That's your life. Do what you want to do. But don't go sitting there trying to make it seem like it's hate, because people would say the same thing to you that they would say to a heterosexual couple.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the movement of making sure that there's total acceptance for every single behavior, no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you're the stereotypical norm, it doesn't apply. It
Yeah.
doesn't apply anymore.
You know, it's funny. On the definition, it talked about, like, showing strength, no weakness, stuff like that, and showing no real traits of your femininity, like your feminine side and all that stuff. And it's like you're showing no emotion. Like, really, just to be a man, you can't show emotion. I mean, there's a story about LeBron James, right, that really just, like, it sealed the deal. I feel like the dude is the man, bro. I love the guy. It's more so what he's doing off the court. He's a great basketball player. That's phenomenal. He's a great athlete. But, there's a football player that quit in the NFL because his baby daughter was dying of cancer. I guess, he needed a lot of help. And somebody came to him and said, listen, I heard what's going on. And I have a daughter as well. And my heart breaks from what I'm hearing. I would like to help you and try to bring in as many doctors and people that could possibly help your daughter. But please don't let anybody know that I did this. And he got all the doctors, all the specialists to come in. Obviously, money was not an option. And they did surgeries. The daughter is safe and alive. And they were giving the ESPN award to the to the father of the daughter. So the guy gets up there and he's making a speech. And he says, I promised I would never say anything, but the truth is I can't sit here and take this award without saying something. I don't feel like I deserve this award. A man came to me and offered help, came to see me after every one of his games, called me every single day to make sure that I was okay and my daughter was okay. And he single-handedly brought me all the specialists that I didn't even know I needed. He did more research on this than anybody could possibly do. And he helped save my daughter. He is the one who, deserves this award. And that man is LeBron James. And LeBron James is in the audience crying hysterically. You're going to tell me that he's less of a man because he's crying? Because he has a daughter and put himself in that guy's place? And knows what it feels like to lose someone you love? So he's less of a man? He didn't do it. Character is what you do when nobody's watching. He did that in hopes that nobody would find out. He just wanted to help that man because his heart was breaking for him. And you're going to tell me that, what, he's less than a man because he's crying? He's less than a man because he's showing emotion? When you meet a woman, right, that could possibly end up meaning everything to you, completely just make everything in life just mesh. And you talk about things that go on in your life and you get emotional. If you can't cry in front of that woman, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. If you can't let loose in front of that woman, something's wrong. You know what I mean? You're not being true to yourself. No man, no person in this world has ever not gone through anything that makes them emotional. If you're going to sit there and think that being hard to situations and like numb,
cold, yeah,
to situations in your life makes you a man, that means you haven't addressed it. That means you took yourself out of it and you're not being emotional, but it doesn't make you a man at all. You know what I mean? I could sit there and talk about my grandparents all day and just break down crying every single day. Tell me I'm less than a man. Now you're going to talk about what? Men have to be strong. I'm stronger than you probably. Men's got to be like a little violent. If that's the case, I can be more violent than you too. But I was just crying just now. That takes away from my masculinity because I'm showing emotion? Nah, that's bullshit. But that's just society and how they're trying to depict masculinity. But that's how it becomes toxic to men, right? And they'll end up losing a relationship or friends or having issues with family because they lack the ability to express themselves and show emotion. Hold things in, right? Instead of talking about your problems and expressing yourself and showing emotion, I'm going to hold it all in and then explode one day. And then what? Be violent. And then what? Go to jail. And then what? Now you're going to be a real man because you're in jail? Because you're violent and you don't show emotion? For what? So that we can call you a man now? And you're going to come out of jail? You going to make any money though? No. So where's the financial part now? You got the violent part. You got the unemotional part. You ain't going to have the financial though. Where do we stand? And it just keeps going over and over again. For what? It's my main thing. For what?
Yeah, I don't know, the whole premise of quote unquote toxic masculinity. I feel like they take these alleged traits that they've amped up in a definition standpoint times 20.
Yes.
And they've said, if you're this, it's not acceptable in society nowadays. But realistically, like you're saying, a real man's man has no problem getting on his emotional side, his feminine side, his masculine and strong side, and being the protector of his friends, family, everything. Just because you're a strong individual and maybe you don't cry all the time. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's just not your thing. It's okay. Maybe this person doesn't bottle everything up. But that doesn't make this person toxic either.
Not at all.
Because I think that the definition is stretched to a mainstream media standpoint where it's almost like they want to just not let men be men in general. And by creating a term like this, they blanket all men instead of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of allowing the real men to be real men, you and I. Dude, I put the movie fucking Hachi on about Akitas.
Oh, dude. How do you not cry for that movie, bro?
I was in New Orleans. I waited as long as I could to not see that movie because I knew Papa was going to break down.
But, bro,
I put that movie on, and I'm sitting there missing Kenji. He's home, and I'm watching it, and I'm at the bachelor party, man. Everyone's chilling for the morning.
You can tell that dog nothing.
Bro, I'm fucking...
He knew Daddy was coming home.
I am...
Are you kidding me?
Crying my eyes out.
Boy.
Sitting there. But, like, I can also be tough. I can also be stern. I can also sometimes hold back emotions because it's just not the time or place to do it.
Yeah.
Like Andre said in the clips, blasting your personal business out on social media. That's not for everybody.
No, it's definitely not.
And that shouldn't be for everybody in theory. You should have your circle of people, which he says later in the clip. Everybody on TikTok, well, not everybody, but half the people on TikTok kind of took it the wrong way. And they're like, oh, well, he's just holding it in. He needs a hug. And it's like, no, he's got his circle.
Exactly. That's what he's bringing it up to.
And he is a very strong, independent, strong-minded individual. So,
and it doesn't mean that he doesn't open up and talk to the people in his circle. He just doesn't choose to do it to an audience of people that he does not know.
Exactly.
That's my thing with social media. I get it. I know what it's for. Listen, it's great for business. It's helped me in business too. And I haven't even attacked it the way that I think I should have for business, but it's helped. But there's certain things that you got to keep sacred in your life. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I don't need you in my relationships. I don't need you in anything like that.
So let me ask you.
All you need to know about me is that I work out, I eat well, this is what I do, I have a supplement company. That's it.
So being a father, do you find it's weird when kids are like pawning off their kids on social media, just like constantly filming them?
This is the reason I don't put my kids on social media. So I've been in the game of training athletes and celebrities for a very long time. I started many years ago. I've witnessed some things with people that I grew up different, right? Not different than everyone, because there's a lot of guys who would feel exactly what I'm about to say. So take, for instance, I was training a fighter once, right? And he was champion of the world. And you get fans, or lack thereof, or haters that will, when he posts a picture with him and his wife, him and his kids, or whatever it is, these people attack his family to get to him. They'll sit there and be like, your daughter's ugly. She looks like blah, blah, blah. And it just go in. I will find you. And I'm not even saying it to be funny.
Oh,
You can say whatever you want to me. You can do whatever you want to me. You touch anyone in my family or my loved ones, I will break every bone in your fucking body on everything I love. Say what you want to me. Disrespect me all you want. I'll laugh and keep it moving. Just don't touch me. But when it comes to them, no, you are not saying shit, because I will break you in half, and I don't give a fuck where I end up. So that, in noticing that would happen to like so many celebrities and people, I was just like, nah.
That's not a.
You know what?
That's not the side of social I could put my foot in.
I'm gonna keep it strictly like just business, maybe fun, but that is it. My social life, everything that's dear to me, okay, stays the fuck over there. 100%. You know what I mean? Like it's too much. And I've been like that since I've literally opened up my Instagram since the day I ever started. Once I started realizing that this is what goes on, I'm seeing people, I'm hearing people talking shit about me, talking shit about my dude and his kids and why. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? And he's like, yo, what are we gonna do? I said, what you mean we gonna do? We gonna find this fool. And he's like, no. Bro, I'm in the limelight. I'm a celebrity now. I can't do that, man. I kind of just gotta shut it off. I'm like, shut it off. I'm from an era of accountability. Okay? You talk shit to me or you put your hands on me, I'm gonna fuck you up, right? So now you know not to do that shit anymore. You can go touch somebody else if you want, but you ain't touching me no more. My grandparents told me this too when I was going to school. They said, look, you need to do one thing. If you come home and you bullied someone or started a fight, I'm going to break your tail. But if anybody ever puts their hands on you, you let them say whatever the fuck they want to say. If anybody puts their hand on you, you beat them so bad that they will never think to talk shit or put their hands on any other human being again in their life. You make sure that you make a difference. You beat them so bad that they will not talk shit or put their hands on another human being ever again. So you could push, you could talk, you could do whatever you want. The moment you touch me, I'm going to beat you so bad that you really sit there and when you look in the mirror for the rest of your life, you're like, damn, why did I do that day? Now I did my service. And you will probably not do that ever again.
I feel bad for those people, but at the same time, I don't because they had it coming to them.
No. You're going to be held accountable for your fucking mouth and your actions. Plain and simple. Because you know what? You can't just go to jail, right? You can't go to court and sit in front of... I used to tell my mom this all the time. I was like, Mom, you always want me to just be like, well, just let it go, let it go. I'm like, really? I said, so if I do something out of anger, my temper was like wild when I was younger. If I do something out of anger and I'm sitting in the courtroom, are you going to get up and tell the judge, just let him go? Just because, it's just how he is. It's just how he is? That gets me off? No. The judge is going to be like, yeah, okay, that's just how he is. And he's going to learn not to be like that by spending 3 years in jail. Okay? You'll be out in about 8 months. But you'll be on probation. But now he'll realize, and hopefully he learns and he won't do it again. But you're held accountable. Nowadays, I'm going to go commit a crime, go give fingerprints, and walk out on bail. No bail, right? No, that's what they have now?
Bail reform.
So I'm going to go fuck with somebody real bad, right? I can go in and break into somebody's home, get caught, somebody call the police arrest me, bring me in, take my fingerprints, give me a court date, let me leave, and fuck those people that call the police on me. I'm going to go back in their house and kill them now.
Yep.
This is what you want to do for people now?
Scary.
No fucking accountability anymore. I'm accustomed to keeping people accountable for what they say and their actions, plain and simple. And I expect people to do the same shit for me. If I overstep my boundaries, by all means, check me, bro. I'm not going to be mad at you. Where is that nowadays?
It's not. That's also been instilled in the younger generations of just no accountability at home. That's where it started. No one getting their ass kicked anymore. No one. Everyone just going, oh, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to sue you now.
Yeah,
It's that entitlement type shit. I grew up kind of in that last generation of you could scuffle and not have to worry about the laws, the lawyers getting involved. You know, nowadays, I mean, you fucking sneeze on somebody the wrong way, and they're all up in arms, ready to try to push legal shit on you.
I had this one principal, man. He was dope, Mr. Tucker. He was the man. He was an NCAA Division I wrestler, right? He was. You know what the school was like? The school was like that movie with Morgan Freeman back in the day. Forget the name. Shit.
I only know Morgan Freeman since he's been like 90.
Where he's walking around with the mic and running around screaming at the kids or whatever, but he's trying to fix the school.
Let me check IMDb while you talk.
Is it Stand By Me?
Let me see.
Or something like that. Look up Morgan Freeman movies. But it was like that. He'd walk around with a huge mic. You know, he would fucking rip people apart. And if you had a problem with it, he would literally be like, okay, cool, come. He'd go into the wrestling room, roll out the mats, take his suit jacket off, take his shirt off, and be like, all right, you have a problem with me? Take it out on me. We're going to wrestle. If I can pin you, you're going to shut your mouth. You're going to do what I ask you to do. But if you can beat me, you can run this school. And sure enough, he will pick you up and dump you on your shit left and right, pin you, abuse the hell out of you, bro. To the point where you're laying on the mat, breathing heavy, because most guys aren't in wrestling shape. That's what he used to do. And if two kids wanted to fight, he'd be like, all right, cool, let's do this. Put on the gloves. Let's go in the room. You guys hash it out. Do what you got to do. And he would oversee everything. You're still getting suspended, but at least you get a chance to do this. Without other kids around, you know, then other kids being like, oh, you got your ass beat. Oh, this, look at that, rooting for next kid. Now I'm jumping in. Now the kid gets jumped. All that was cut out. He used to just literally break everything up like that, and it was amazing. Once again, it's just accountability, but nobody does that anymore.
This dude has been in a lot of fucking movies.
He's like 176 years old. He reminds me of my grandfather. He looks just like my grandfather, bro. It throws me off.
You just gotta scroll.
I can't even
up.
I can't even look at it. I can't even look at his face, man. It just gets me emotional.
But I do agree. There needs to be more type of accountability, or everyone's got to go do martial arts. Everyone's got to do some type of martial arts where they get hit. They get hit in the face at least once, because everyone's a shit talker until they get punched once.
I remember the one teacher that really stood out for me, martial arts wise. He literally was like, "Wait a minute, what is this?" He was literally like, "Lean on Me."
Lean on Me.
That's the movie. So,
boom, 1989. Lean on Me. Principal Joe Clark. That was his character.
1989. Shit, I remember them days. But anyway, so dating myself over here. So, I forget what I was even talking about.
You said
thinking about that. Shit.
Lost it?
Yeah, what was I talking about?
I said martial arts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, martial arts.
The teacher, my teacher that stood out to me the most was a guy when I was in junior high school, going into high school. So I've always done martial arts since I was young. And he literally was like this. So, you know, your cousins and your grandparents tell me that you have like a anger problem and you get in trouble in school a lot. I was like, man, yeah, a little something, ain't nothing crazy. He's like, all right, dude, we're going to play a game here, okay? You come to class every day. You came here and you says, oh, what days do you offer classes? You joined up and you said, I'll be here every day. And I said to myself, no one comes every day. No one can handle this every day. And he was like from Thailand. He was like, no joke. Like, I mean, the classes there
were like. He was Taiwanese?
Yeah, he's fucking nuts. The dude would shut off all the lights, close the windows, turn the heat up. It'd be like 130 degrees in there. And he's like, if you wipe sweat from your brow, go home. If you have to take a break to get water before I tell you to, go the fuck home. Literally, you were a machine training with this man. And he was like, this is what we're going to do. And he was smaller than me, like shorter, thinner. He's only like 165, 170 pounds, maybe 5'7". And he was like, if I hear that you get in trouble in school or you fight or you get suspended or anything like that, I'm going to fuck you up in front of the whole class. We're going to get in the ring and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Now, the first thing in my mind was, okay, little motherfucker, you ain't beating me up. Now, I know this dude is the shit, but in my head, I figured,
I got him.
I could beat this dude, whatever, The first time I ever got in trouble, I go to school, I go to class, and I walk in, and he's like, yo, as I had my back turned, he just threw on the floor in front of me, headgear. And I was like, what's up? He says, get in the ring. I heard you guys in school suspension. I'm like, whatever. Put it on. He's like, I gave you a fair warning. I'm not even going to wear the headgear. I said, nah, you should put on the headgear too. And he's like, I'm not going to need it. I was like, oh, bet. He beat the brakes off me, bro. He beat the shit out of me to the point where my cousin jumped in, and that motherfucker's 6'5" and change. And he beat the shit out of him too. I was like, yo, we're literally laying on the mat looking at each other like, what the fuck just happened? This little dude, he fucking leg kicked me one time. I felt like my whole femur broke. He literally was landing shots on me. I was making fun of him the day before because I'm like, yo, a sweep on the street is never going to work. The dude about to sweep me. The fight lasted 3 rounds. So I got to give myself a little props. Like, I lasted 3 rounds, right?
Job,
okay, cool. So
how sore were you the next day?
Sore? I've been beat up. I've been jumped, like, in my life, like real fists, kicks, the whole 9 yards, like my jaw broken. Like, I honestly felt like I hit by a truck, bro. Yeah. I could not believe it. My body was like, I had black and blue all up and down my legs, my ribs, black eye. I'm like, how did this happen? This little 165-pound, 5'7" Thai dude. And my cousin is 6'5". He's 6'5", 368 pounds right now. But back then, he was about 6'5", like high 2s. Yo, my cousin got in there, landed a big jab on him. I said, yeah. I'm literally laying in the corner of the ring. And all of a sudden, I see the dude fake a leg kick. My cousin drops the hand, whop, right across the top of the head. Concussion. My cousin couldn't open his eye for like 3 days, bro.
Damn.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? And my grandfather would always say, it's so many of you. If one of you come home with your ass whooped, I'm going to kill all of you. Y'all better all be going to jail for jumping the shit out of someone, okay? But if one person comes home with a loss, y'all are all losing at home. This is a team effort. Nobody ever just fights one-on-one. I want the whole family fighting. So here I am, looking at him get his ass whooped. He's watching me get my ass whooped. We can't even help each other. This is a very, very fucked up day in my childhood, bro.
History.
I'm just like, what the? But sure enough, once again, it goes back to.
Did that make you want to get in trouble again at school?
Yo, I think that was the best thing that's ever happened to me. At that point, I literally was like, yo, I'm all set, bro. Like, I'm good. I was so, you know what it did to me? I had this feeling of, I was never a bully. I did like to fight, but I love to stand up for people. I love to like get involved in shit that maybe I shouldn't have. If I've seen somebody bullying you, I would jump in for you in a heartbeat.
Have you guys ever seen Batman and Jamal in the same room? Never.
So it's that's what I would like. I would love. But I never started fights. I never bullied anybody or whatever like that. But it wasn't until after that I was just like, I looked at every single human being differently. And what it did was just make me think. Like, you would look at this man on the street and think you can rob him, you can have your way with this dude. And it's the exact opposite. He would have completely made you pay for every single thing you try to do. So at that point in life, I was just like, all right, I got to have a different level of respect for people. I have to really just pick my battles here because I'm using what I know for self-defense and self-defense only. This shit is not a game. You know what I mean? This is not like, it's not a joke. And I definitely did fall back. It was in my later, it was high school, not junior high school. I definitely fell back and was definitely a lot more subdued in school. Guaranteed.
So now let me ask you this, and I want to finish off on this.
Yeah.
Now, this is a point that I have to make to a friend of mine.
Yes.
My buddy, he knows who he is. I don't have to say the name. My buddy has the notion mentally that anybody under 200 pounds he could fuck up.
Under 200 pounds.
Yeah. He has it in his mind.
Does he realize, I don't know who the person is, but does he realize that somebody like myself can lose weight and be under 200 pounds?
But he thinks.
No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, he thinks, that would be weird to see you under 200.
Fuck. Not since the 3rd grade, fam.
He's got it in his mind that he sees like these light, Sean O'Malley and all these guys, like these light fighters. He's like, yo, I'd fuck this dude up 150 pounds, 160 pounds. And my other friend and I have to tell him every time, it doesn't work like that.
No,
they will fuck you up and me if I try to help you.
Yeah, it's
professional fighters and all these dudes that are trained.
It's what they do for a living.
Yeah. Because listen, that's why I want you to clear this up. You're around fighters, so you know
all the time.
These light dudes can fuck these big dudes up easy.
Listen, size don't mean shit, man. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to fighting, bro, size doesn't mean anything. If you know how to use it to your advantage and you're a skilled fighter and you're big, you're scary. But if you're just a person that's big and strong and you're going against a skilled fighter, bro, you're going to get torn apart. The best bet is you can get lucky enough to get a hold of that small, very small individual. And as you get a hold of him, make sure he's not hitting you when you that takes time.
Yeah.
You got to be able to hold him and thrash him. If you can't, you're coming in catching blows. But I guarantee you that little fighter is so fast and so explosive. It only going to take one shot.
They don't look that fast on UFC on when you're watching on TV, but they fast
in real life.
They're fast.
In real life, it's like fast forward, bro. So tell him not to try.
Yeah, no. He definitely shouldn't.
But if he really thinks, I could bring him in for sparring and he can jump in with some of the lighter guys. One of my old guys, he's got a belt in CFFC and he's about to probably be in the UFC soon. He fights 125 and 135. He's a small dude. Small dude. He's like Johnny Third Lung. The kid does not get tired. He's fast and explosive as shit. He will beat the brakes off most people I know. Hands down.
Let's set that up. I want to watch
whatever
that.
you want.
I want to watch that.
I'll call him down. He's got a fight in like this weekend in Atlantic City. After he wins this, yeah, it'll be fun. We'll put on 2 headgears on him just so he don't, feel some type of way.
You can't have my friend having brain damage, please.
No. It won't get that bad. I'll tell my boy just to go to the body.
Yeah. That'd be
no
That'd
headshots.
be fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, always a pleasure sitting down and chatting it up with you.
Always.
This is number 12, man. In the Bat Cave.
I'm so happy.
Number 12. Your fucking birthday. I like that we got to touch on a lot of different things today. Super easy, as usual, man. Super free flow, super free form. We just talk about what comes to mind. We talk about it. We chop it up, and then we get some clips from it. And we enlighten people's days.
I love it.
On that note, number 12 done. Appreciate y'all. Peace.